Last briefing, I showed you the failure. A portfolio that looked perfect, designed correctly, allocated correctly, funded correctly, and still it collapsed. Not from a bad market, from a bad year. The first one. In a hydroelectric station, the penstock carries water under brutal pressure. The turbine valve closes. The water column does not stop. It carries the kinetic energy of the entire reservoir behind it. That energy reflects back up the pipe as a pressure wave, a hammer blow against the steel. Without intervention, the pipe ruptures. The plant fails in seconds. So engineers install a surge tank, a vertical shaft beside the pipeline. When the wave hits, water rushes up the tank. The energy goes vertical. The pipe survives. The surge tank does not produce power. It does not increase flow. It absorbs shock. And without it, the plant is one bad valve closure away from total failure. Your portfolio is a hydroelectric plant. The reservoir is your capital. The penstock is your withdrawal pipeline. The turbine is your monthly income. And the first years of retirement are the days when valves slam shut for reasons you cannot control. Each bad year is a pressure wave. If your only way to fund expenses is to sell down stocks while they are falling, the wave travels straight into the structure. That is forced selling. That is locked-in losses. That is the plan rupturing. The fix is the same as in the power plant. You install a surge tank. If this metaphor is reframing how you think about cash in retirement, tap like and stay with me. Let's make it concrete. 2 investors. Both retire with $500,000. Both withdraw $20,000 a year. Both retire into the same bad market. A 30% drop in year 1. A slow recovery over the next 4 years. Investor 1 has no buffer. Every withdrawal comes directly from the portfolio. Year 1, the portfolio is down 30%. Withdrawing $20,000 from a portfolio now worth $350,000 is not 4%. It is closer to 6%. The portfolio is losing units, while it is already losing value. Investor 2 has installed the surge tank. 24 months of essential expenses in cash sitting beside the portfolio. When year 1 drops, Investor 2 stops drawing from the portfolio entirely. Every withdrawal comes from the buffer. The portfolio is left to recover on its own. Same crash, same numbers, same timeline, but one portfolio is sold down while it bleeds. The other is given time, and time is the only ingredient a recovering market requires. Most retirement advice tells you to hold some cash. That is not engineering. That is decoration. A surge tank is not some water in a pipe. It is a calculated volume of fluid in a vertical structure at a specific location. Specifications, not suggestions. Most retirees fail one of 3 ways. 1. The buffer is too small. 3 months of expenses cannot absorb a 2-year drawdown. The buffer empties before the recovery arrives. 2. The buffer is the wrong material. A cash buffer parked in long-duration bond funds is not a surge tank. It is a pipe that bends in the same direction as the storm. 3. The buffer is operated incorrectly. The retiree draws from it in good years when the portfolio could be doing the work. They arrive at the bad year with an empty tank. Each of these is a buffer that looks like a fix and behaves like decoration. And when the bad year arrives, the structure has nothing protecting it. If you are within 10 years of retirement, this next section is the most important part of this briefing. Stay with me. The retrofit has 3 parts. First, size, 12 months of essential expenses as the floor, 24 months as the ceiling. Essential expenses, not lifestyle expenses. Housing, food, utilities, insurance, medical baseline, tax, add them up, multiply by 12. That is your minimum. That is the volume the tank must hold. Second, composition, cash equivalents only. High-yield savings, money market funds, short-duration treasury bills, instruments where the price does not move when the stock market moves. A surge tank cannot be made of soft material. A buffer cannot be made of bond funds that correlate with equities. The vessel must hold its shape under load. Third, protocol. 2 operating states, calm market. Stocks rising or flat. You draw from the portfolio. You top the buffer up if it falls below 12 months. Bear market. Stocks down 20% or more on a rolling 6-month basis. You stop drawing from the portfolio. You draw from the buffer for up to 2 full years. That is the cycle. 2 states, 1 mechanical rule. And the rule decides for you before the fear arrives. Now look at the result. Same investor, same 500,000, same crash in year 1. But the surge tank is built. Year 1 drops. The buffer takes the hit. The portfolio is left alone. Year 2 is rough. The buffer keeps working, then recovery arrives. And because the portfolio was never forced to bleed during the worst years, it has the structure left to recover properly. That is the difference. The market did not change. The timing did not change. The plan was simply built to survive the wrong sequence. And there is a second outcome you should not miss. The retiree with the surge tank does not panic. They do not refresh the portfolio screen at midnight. They do not call their advisor in February asking to go to cash. They are not afraid of the crash, because the crash is not aimed at them. It is aimed at the buffer. And the buffer was designed to be drained. The surge tank protects the structure, and the protocol protects the operator. A perfect portfolio can still fail without a buffer. That is why the surge tank matters. Not because cash is exciting, because cash, used correctly, is structural. And without it, the plan is 1 bad year from total failure. Here is your site report. Finding 1, size your buffer to essential expenses. 12 months as the floor, 24 as the ceiling. Anything less is not a surge tank. Finding 2, hold the buffer in cash equivalents only. High-yield savings, money market funds, short-duration treasury bills, nothing that moves with the market. Finding 3, write down the operating rule before you need it. If the market is down 20% on a rolling 6-month basis, draw from the buffer. Otherwise, draw from the portfolio. The rule decides for you when fear arrives. Finding 4, stop calling cash a poor decision. Cash held for return is dead. Cash held for shock absorption is load-bearing. Finding 5, install the buffer before the wave hits. The pipeline does not survive because the operator is brave. The pipeline survives because the surge tank was built before the pressure spiked. The link to the 30-year stress test is in the description.
Subscribe to the Blueprint Room for the next briefing.
Build for timing. Build for load. Build to last. Class dismissed.